All right. And here we go. This is week 3 for Concordia's 1 or Alpha team and Grand Island 1's team as well. Both teams are coming into this set of Grand Prix 2-0. They're both right at the top of play versus Division II league standings, so both are doing very well. We've seen Grand Island here now at 2 tournaments, the Grand Island Mario Kart tournament and the Concordia Mario Kart tournament, and they've got some very, very good racers. And so that could mean that today goes either way. Of course, I'm rooting for Concordia here, but we are rooting for our friends that are just across the state, a few hours away. So on Sunset Wilds, here we see Concordia is already starting off kind of strong, but we've got Grand Island real close behind. Before the game, Coach Hinkle was going back and forth with me about how we should settle this game. The idea of a 4v2 was thrown out, so then I commented maybe we should do a man-on-man 1v1 coaches battle, but I didn't specify the game, so he said load up Halo. He likes his odds. I'll be honest, I'd get destroyed. So I did recently, is he in the room? Did recently load up the Master Chief Collection and played through a few campaign levels with my older brother. And so I've got a little bit of recent skill development, but it was a punishment. All right, so here we are, Sunset Wilds, going into the last turns of the third lap for Concordia's Alpha team. And first place getting hit by something. Was it a bomb? Was it a blue shell? I didn't quite catch it. But Concordia's in 1 and 2 with a red shell. Okay, Grand Island is coming up big here right towards the end. And Concordia is nearly going to take the bottom 3 positions. It's 8, 1, 6, and 5. So Concordia actually loses the first race. And that's a way to start it. So good racing for Grand Island Northwest 1 there. Concordia is hoping for a bit of a runner instead of a bagger this second race. We'll see how it goes. That would not be funny. Okay, Twisted Mansion here. This is a bit of a good one for Concordia, I think, but also for Grand Island. As I was saying, they're definitely capable racers, and you saw that there on Sunset Wilds. They know how to capitalize with their item play. They know how to take the cuts. And so if Concordia is in a disadvantaged position, Grand Island's just going to take spots and climb up the points. But it's still close. Fortunately, with the rear positions there in the positions, Concordia is able to pull a couple mushrooms and then mushroom up to the top. And so we've got top 4 at the end of lap 1, and hopefully Concordia will just run it. So if fourth place there, fourth place got trailed by his own teammate who had revolving triple greens. So that's a bit of an unfortunate friendly fire situation. It's almost unavoidable with the triple greens. You really have to be careful and space out if you see your teammate having that. But here we go. So Concordia still got first and second, and it looks like a bit of a gap between third place. Piranha Plant for Grand Island coming up. And the green Yoshi trailing his friend yet again, unfortunately. It's trailing greens and triple greens. That is very difficult. You have no control over their revolving. And so if your player does not space out or give a little bit of respect to the latency that's built into the game, they will accidentally trail themselves out. Tight banana on one of the corners. And 2 bananas a little bit later, trying to trap the lines. And so here we go. Concordia's ending lap 2 in first and third and fifth and 7. They've got the odd positions. And second place has a mushroom. And Concordia's third place is going to mushroom right into a bomb, which knocks them back a position or 2. And it is looking rough here as lap 3 starts. Concordia's players are scrounging for positions as much as they can. They're in 1, 4, 6, and 8. if first place can hold on, this won't be a huge loss. Hitting a banana on the corner and unfortunately getting trailed by another banana, but second place is coming up with, oh my goodness, this looks like it is going to be a big win for Grand Island. Maybe they can horn this player off around the corner tight. And mushrooms at the final corner. We've got first place and fifth, 1, 3, 5, and 7. Wow, what a finish. Positions, 5. Did you get 8 last one? Okay, Jamie? Okay, and then 1 and 3, Utah 1. Wow, so Concordia is going to take the lead back there, but just barely. So it is 40-38 in the game that just happened against Fort Calhoun with Concordia 2 versus Fort Calhoun 1. We were at this place, exact place in scores, 40-38 in both games. This is also a very close Grand Prix for the moment. Concordia is up 40-38. They've got a 2-point lead going into the third race on Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Castle is definitely a tricky map with some cuts towards the end. Concordia already starting a bit of a snake up in the front, just some expert lines driving, and you can see them. First place is right on them, and they are carefully avoiding the swinging spike ball. And you can tell Concordia really knows how to race this. They started in 1, 3, 5, and 7, and they're already up into top 4 after the first driving sequence. So this is looking good for Concordia. It appears like they know they know the lines a little bit better on this one, but we will see how this one goes. We'll see how this one goes. Concordia is mushrooming up, and you can see the gap in the mini map already as fourth place finishes his lap. Looks like Grand Island is 2 seconds behind in fifth place. 1 to 2 seconds behind in fifth place. So this is very good, but unfortunately fourth place and third place are holding on to very, very few defensive items. They have a mushroom, which is not going to be helpful, and a green shell in third. There are no walls to dodge here in this wavy portion, but blue shell on its way up. Second place does have a horn. Can they blue shell? No, they took the alternative path. So Concordia's first place is going to get blued out, only to be replaced by second place coming up. And Concordia has lost fourth place. The lack of defensive items really going against them there. But a star into fifth place. And Concordia's third place does have a banana for defense. Fifth place has a fire, nearly firing themselves out, are going to try, and they do. They successfully snipe out fourth place as they round a corner, and Concordia is going to get a double item. No. Single item and triple mushrooms. Looking back, they're trying to see what path Grand Island takes. So they burn all their mushrooms in order to pull out triple greens for defense. Looks like triple reds were behind them. That is a very, very fortunate pull. Concordia is up in 1, 2, 3, and 4, and fourth place is holding a fire. So this should be a sure top 4 finish. We'll see what happens here. Concordia backing it, and there it is. 1, 2, 1, 4, 3. And with that, Concordia has secured the win in the Grand Prix. It's 69-48. That's 3, but that's a guarantee. So even if they bottom 4, they'll take 10 points, which gives them 79 points, which is a 2-point victory in the Grand Prix. So we'll see what map is taken out here of Nintendo's random bag of maps, and it's Toad's Turnpike. So Concordia having a little bit of fun here. A shock in lap 2. Concordia is still in some pretty good positions here. A blue on its way up, but coming from Concordia, that is going to go for Grand Island. So 3rd place for Grand Island is going to get blued out. And a target blooper on Toad's Turnpike is very, very poor. That's a rough thing to get. It just means you're gonna hit a couple cars. It's nothing quite like a Toad's Turnpike for these young boys to teach them how to drive down Dodge. Ooh. 3rd place, trailing out one of Grand Island's players up in the front and narrowly avoiding some cars. A little bit of camera clipping there because it was so close. And Concordia is going to end up 2-1, maybe 2-1, 3-4, maybe another top 4. Yeah, 2-1, 4-3. Those are the same placements as last map, so that is a win for Concordia, a big win there because of the last race. It was very tight in races 1 and 2. But there goes the first Grand Prix. Concordia's Alpha wins 98-58. Okay, so we'll start Grand Prix 2. Jamie, stop mashing. This is not Smash Bros. All right. So there's a little bit of downtime here. I think we can tell from that first Grand Prix. Here we go for the second one to start. But we can tell from that first Grand Prix that Grand Island is capable, and they can definitely take a race if they know the course and the items are there. A couple big finishes for Concordia has to set them back in the mind game space, but they've got to remain confident. They're good racers. Concordia's got a bunch of good racers, too. I can't see it. What was it? And the selection was Boo Lake. It was behind the item blockers for me, so I couldn't quite see it. Boo Lake's a good one. It's definitely a good track. One of the best, despite what Concordia's #1 team is saying right now. They don't like it. They don't like it. It's a bad map, they're saying. Unfortunately, they are allowed to be wrong. And they're trailing each other and bumping one another off and getting redded out. And so here we see early on the positions changing just a little bit, and Concordia falling off the cut. Somehow the yellow Yoshi there falling off. A little bit of forced bagging, Short Cat would say. Any rail rides here at the end? Is anyone going to go for it? No one's going to go for it. Okay. So Concordia in lap 2 is up in 2nd and 1st, and then mid-pack 4 and bottom 8. Oh, a bomb was placed on the right split track, and Concordia fortunately had a star to go right through the blast. And Concordia is now in some pretty good positions, 1, 3, 2, and 4. We're in top 4. Oh, but getting redded out right there at the end. That is an important place to be in, 4th place. Even if you don't have a defensive item, you are the defensive item. So thank you to Case over there for taking the red shell for everyone else. A blue shell on its way up. First place, probably not going to be able to banana himself. Nope. Just going to take the blue shell right off the ramp. And a shock. And Concordia's 5th place racer, the yellow Yoshi, able to dodge the shock. And here we go, going into... Oh, a green shell bouncing takes out the yellow Yoshi just after he dodges the shock. And Concordia's player, going by David City's name, is going to take a good position there. We're in 1-4-3, 1-4-3-6. So Concordia is going to be up 24-15 after the first race on Boo Lake.
Dude, if you would have got that ground star, that would have been actually
You know, sometimes as a spectator here on wherever you're watching this, you just aren't privy to the conversations that are being had. Concordia's Finn is currently, or was talking about calculating the odds of a shock using calculus and trigonometry. Meanwhile, the player on the far end is calculating the odds of tanking a track, and he's saying that's the only value he's bringing to the team. But, you know, no matter how poorly you do in a race, you are racing it, and we value you. So, thank you. A little bit of a lag snipe there on the bomb car, hitting a couple of the Concordia racers. So Concordia is in 1-3-4, 1-3-5, and 7, taking the odd positions again. Yet another bomb car hitting Concordia's player, the yellow Yoshi, but he is snaking his way out, trying to snipe someone with a banana, hits no one. Concordia's Daisy player there, T-boning a red sedan and a trash truck. And bomb cars taking out for the 3rd time this race the yellow Yoshi. Okay, Yoshi, if it's a bomb car, don't run into it. It's not a zipper. It's not a speed boost. Okay. Was that a bomb or a bomb car? Okay. So it's hard to tell the difference. Okay, here's a bomb car for the yellow Yoshi, and he avoids it. Well done. Congratulations. That is personal growth. Personal growth. Well done, yellow Yoshi. That's okay. We'll work on red shells next week. Concordia's in a good position up in front, 1st and 2nd, with a trailing green to defend against the red shell coming up. And it looks like it's going to be a good finish for them up in the front. 6th in place, fighting for all the spots that they can. A star is going to help 6th place yellow Yoshi against any offensive bomb cars. A bullet coming up. Who's going to pass who at the end? We don't know. It'll be 8 and 6. Okay, so Concordia ends the 2nd race winning 46-32 in the standings. It's a little bit better off for us than it was last Grand Prix at the end of the 2nd race. It was 40-38, and we were all sweating over here. So we'll see what tracks are picked here. It is still winnable by Grand Island, and it is Donut Plains 3. This is a terrible track. I don't know what Nintendo was thinking when they made this, but they put the track in the wrong place. Because as you'll see, the racers are not going to race on the track. They're going to race through the grass. They're going to race through the water. They're not going to race on the track. So, Nintendo, you built it wrong. The actual track is a little bit to the right here after the bridge. Is anyone doing the skip? First place is doing the skip. Here we go. They're going to try. Okay, they skipped it. Yeah. And then they're going to go left through the water here and avoid the track at all costs. And if they were Gyarados, they would take the grass cut there too. Rank number 2. But here we go. Yeah, so Donut Plains 3 has lots of cuts. This really will be anyone's race, even until the end. So you're going to see players taking grass cuts and taking strange angles everywhere just to save time. It is just faster not to be on the course here. First place taking the cuts as normal. Third place right behind Rage Purple. That's a Grand Island player. I would guess Miss Balcom if I'm thinking about who it might be correctly, but she could be a bit farther back. But Vened here, that could be Apex from the Smash Brothers season. If I remember correctly, he plays as that tag in Mario Kart. It could also be Dale. But the players from Grand Island, they play in the Smash Brothers tournaments as well. And so these are well-known players by Concordia's team. And here we go, coming on to the final turns in lap 3. And here you're going to see all those cuts and what they amounted to. Concordia is going to end in 2-4-5-1. 2-4-5-1. So that's going to clinch the win for Concordia again. And so Concordia will win this Grand Prix after they finish the final formal 4th race. But it is 73-44. And we'll just see what happens here on the last one. But with a guaranteed 10 points, Concordia is at least going to have 83 points, and a win is 79. So it's in the bag, but we'll see what happens. Oh, Shy Guy falls. Shy Guy falls. All right, I've got candies and things in this drawer right here. I have a bag of granola bars. I'll give 1 granola bar to anyone who successfully gets the Nisk at the very end. 1 granola bar per Nisk at the very end. I'll be watching. There's a bounty on the Nisks at the very end. No mushrooms allowed on the last cut. It's a Nisk. Nope. So we'll see. At the very end, there's a shortcut that you can take with a mushroom. You can also take it without a mushroom. And so we call it a Nisk, or a no-item shortcut. You'll see who's in the lead here. 4th place, Yellow Yoshi. They'll drift here. They'll drift to the right. They'll bounce off the wall. Nope, they won't, and they're going to miss the Nisk. That's for sure. 5th place, opted not to go for it. 7th place decides to try it, and they hit it, but with a mushroom, I believe. Yeah, no mushrooms allowed. No mushrooms allowed. Okay, so Concordia's 4th, 2nd, 5th, and 8th going into lap 2. That makes sense. They were trying the Nisk. This is the best place to try it when you know it's not going to lose you the game, and it still is simulating race conditions. Players can practice these shortcuts all they want in a time trial, but when you put spinning items or red shells in your hindsight, it just gets hard. So 1st place here, will they bounce the wall? They'll avoid the Nisk. 3rd place and 2nd place. 3rd place is not going to take it. They're not going to be able to take that. Yeah, so you need, there's a specific technique that you need to hit. The Yellow Yoshi trying to take it with a mushroom. That's okay. So we'll see what happens on lap 3. It looks like my granola bar stash is going to maintain its count. 0 successful shortcuts without a mushroom. But we are in 2, 4, 5, and 6. Grand Island's leading the front there with is a white Yoshi up at the front. And a white Yoshi trailing. A pink Yoshi up in front, pardon me. So we'll see. Will Concordia hit the Nisk? Will they red the Yoshi out in the Nisk? Who knows? No one knows. Before the final cut, Concordia 2 and 3 are not taking the Nisk. 6 and 7, Concordia's going to dodge the shock with a star, but Lakitu's going to pull him to the back because the star ran out early. And so Concordia's going to end in 3, and okay, so it was 8, 3, 7, 6. All right, so Concordia will win that 85-71. A fun little race there at the end. GG's to Grand Island Northwest. It was fun racing against you today. In that first Grand Prix, you were right there with us neck and neck. And there were some close races overall in this third one as well. So GG's, good job. Hands off my granola bars, Finn. And we'll see you next time. Good luck in the races next week, Grand Island.